Listen, just listen. If you control the food, if you control the water, if you control the medical system, basically everything, do you really think if they want to take you out of here, it can't? It's not easier ways to do it. Like they could easily just dump shit into all the water supplies. They got motherfuckers that could come in, take out whoever, know the codes to do to whatever, change like even if they're not in control, they can go and get control. Let's just put it like that. Like you believe that we still have power, yeah, we do. But there's teams of motherfuckers set to go run in and do whatever they gotta do. Like if this is the buttons push, like yo, it's go time. There's nothing you're gonna do, like to stop that. What you can do is you be prepared where that fucking shit don't even matter to you. Be able to defend your shit. Cause what's the key? What's the bottom line? You can't keep what you can't protect. It's the bottom line. Period. Alright, so let's just build with me. So they came in, they took control of everything. All resources, even you. You're next. They're taking control of you totally. They've been using you, your energy, to get better and powerful or to do what they need to do. But it's just done now. Like you're not needed. Like you're a useless food eater whose time is coming to an end. Like you got there's 10 years left till the plan is in the motions. I already told you what the plan is for 2050. Well, no, I don't think I discussed that. But the plan is laid out. How it's gonna be in 2050, 2040, like 2030, like this shit. Y'all think Walt Disney was just a fucking dude who was making cartoons, don't you? Making TV shows. He's part of the. He laid foundation for what's to come. Like he's down with those motherfuckers, those the controllers. Like who you really think controls things? Like who goes and topples other governments? I'm not even gonna mention their name in this video. Matter of fact, I will mention names. I'm not scared. It's whatever. Like take the video down. It is what it is. Like the truth is the truth. Like you can't silence the truth. Like it just and there's a paper trail. Like that's what the problem. That's the bottom line. It's a paper trail. You can trace everything back. Like what this motherfucker did, how that happened, like why this don't make sense. Like where's that like if it don't make sense, that's when you question. Like well, let's make this make sense. That's all it's about for me. Like, let's make this make sense. This led and it didn't make any sense. Like, oh, that's why. Now it makes sense to me. Like, anyway. So it's like what have you done to make sure you have your power? Like they're not taking you into the rest of the rest of the sheep that's going to the slaughter. What's making you the sheep that's going the other way? Like you running with the rest of the sheep, doing what they doing. What they doing? Is they stocking up on supplies? Commodities? What's a commodity? Ammo, guns, top commodity. Period. weaponry, knives, swords, spears, slingshots, hell, blowguns. There's others too. Ninja stars, all kind of throwing knives, kunai with chain. There's a lot of ninja weapons. But it's how to use these things that matters. So what's that mean? You should be training to defend your stuff, to defend your family, to defend yourself. If you're not able to defend yourself, then you're going to need the FEMA camp to help you. Come right in. We got you. You need help. See, I never want to be in the position where I need help. I don't need any help. I'm good. I'm thriving. I'm going to thrive. There's nothing else I could do. I don't understand anything less than thriving. I've taken the knowledge to thrive. Like nothing can stop me from thriving but me. There's not enough control. They think they do. To a lot they do, but not to real fucking soldiers like myself that just trained in everything that I need to survive on my own. I could live in a tent in the woods, like, and hunt. I know how to build traps. I could trap bugs to lions, like, people, whatever. And then I'm going to leave it at that, because my knowledge is way above that, too. There's things I can do personally. I'm underestimated. I'll tell you that one. Greatly. I'll tell you this, though. I believe there's nothing I can't do. They've trained me to learn machine and tool. So to work with machines and to make tools. Well, what tools would I make? Well, just know I'll be doing what I need to do on that level. I'll be making some things. This is why I said it's already done. Like I'm good. Like there's no stopping it. Like they tried hard, real hard. Like I'm still chilling. Like all y'all did was take some money. Like can't take this. They want to though. And just know I ain't letting them do it. My God ain't letting them do it. They ain't strong enough. Like you'll never stop the energy of good. Like I am good, so I'm good. That's the bottom line. That's why I'm laughing like it can't be stopped. I'm good. It's supposed to be hard. Like life is not supposed to be easy. So I'll work hard. I'll put in the energy. I'll do what needs to be done to get to where I gotta go. So I'll learn what I need. What do I need to control here? What have I used to control it? Well, I guess it started with a high school diploma, because then they know they've indoctrinated you into a certain mind frame and thinking. You will most likely be the employee, because that's what that training trains you to do, is be an employee. No self-thinking, no producing anything. Stay in and under control. When you control millions of dollars, it's harder to control you. Like, and you find out different information. You have access to different information, which is stuff I found out after dabbling, spending $5 grand here trying to learn something, and then coming to find out, oh wow, well, I'm not even in that. Okay, that's why I couldn't and don't know about that. I had a freaking broaden my horizon. I had to learn words and look them up the hard way, and then just go because I can't. I didn't get the book. Like I didn't pay 15 grand for that book, and that's where the knowledge is. I will have all books I need, and I will know all knowledge that. Well, I won't say I'll know all knowledge. I will try to gather all knowledge so that I may read and partake. But bottom line is, knowledge is the first thing you gotta fucking have to start making things happen, which they consider you to have adequate knowledge at high school diploma. You have your high school diploma, you go and you get your license. Driver's license is the first that is really offered to you. And it's for good reason because you have power of transportation. Transportation is level one of commerce. Commerce is the real control. Let's just say that. That's for like the ending of this lecture. But we'll go back to transportation. So transportation is proven by the driver's license. You went and you took the knowledge of reading and understanding to take the test, and boom, you are able to do commerce now. You can travel. You can make money as an employee. I don't want to leave that part out. Okay, now you have those two things. There's three things that make a pillar, and you can start manifesting things. The third thing is now that you have the high school diploma and you have the license to drive, to do commerce, now you find a job. It has to start unless you are born with money and it's thrown down to you. There's no way. I mean, not to say there's no way. You can get inheritance, lawsuit type shit, you know. I didn't want to say inheritance because inheritance implies that the previous generation set up something for you to inherit. So you don't have to work as hard. You just have to maintain that. Most of mine is coming off of ain't nothing ain't coming. Like we ain't get nothing. Like your inheritance might have been a dresser. Maybe a car. If you inherited a house, well, then you're on, because that's where I'm getting to before the end of this video is what one level of control is. Like why you get it, because like I said, after 230 it's a different plan. Like you won't own nothing. Like it will have been the dollar, will have been collapsed, like, and they had to come in and save you. Like what you gonna do when you can't go to the store and get no food? Like you ain't growing no garden. Like that's what I'm telling you. You're gonna run to them. You're gonna leave your house and all because you can't do nothing in there. There's no. Where's the food? The food's in the FEMA camp. Like you're going there. Unless you're gonna try to be one of those outcast, like the ones that's like, I'm just gonna live. Like, you know what I mean? Those are the ones that's gonna be hunting type motherfuckers and gatherers, like hunter gatherers. You know, there's books you could buy and there's shit to tell you what you can eat. Like what plants? There's enough shit you can eat to survive, but you just don't know what it is. Like, and that's the bottom line. They don't want you to know what it is. They need you dependent. The whole thing is to be dependent. So I'm teach you how not to be dependent. Three pillars that you need to start controlling in this realm or our reality. So You have to get your education, high school diploma. If you get a college one, then that's a whole different thing. Usually that shit is not, that's the trap. That's the first trap, is college. I'm just going to come right out and tell y'all the truth. Like, I'm not saying don't go get a college degree. Some people succeed with that. But the narrative on that is to constantly keep you in a state of need because you've acquired a $50,000 college bill that you will be paying until almost the rest of your life. So they'll be monitoring your money, always siphoning off money for your education to do the job they wanted you to do. That shit don't even make sense to me. If you want certain type of training, shouldn't the companies provide that training? Pay for it? You're the one benefiting. Why do I have to pay for your training? Why do I have to pay for the company's training? Think about that shit. That's some dumbass shit. That's by design. It's to keep you off balance right off the muscle. Let me get off of that because it's starting to get me aggravated. Like, because I see the bullshit and I'm gonna call all the bullshit out. They know good as well student loan should not be fucking held to that standard. That it shouldn't be on you for your life like that because you trying to get a better job and better yourself. Like, you. Anyway, so the first thing you need is your high school diploma. Second thing you need is a driver's license. The third thing you need, you can call it a career, you can call it a job. It's a source where there's guaranteed money coming in annually. Annually usually refers to the year. So they want to see every year you'll make 25 grand to 100 grand is the average person. If you come in at 120, you went to college. Or even a tech school. Because tech schools can get you the bread. I know plumbers, I know electricians, I know carpenters, I know engineers. Some are trades, some are college. The motherfuckers I know who's making, I know motherfuckers that made $100 an hour. And I'm not talking about nurses. I know nurses that do that too. I know engineers driving those trucks, not dump trucks, but the excavators, them shits with the cranes, the shit where you gotta have skill or you could kill somebody or hurt somebody. Motherfuckers making $50 an hour, $60 an hour. Their pay scale yearly is like 200 racks. Like, you don't think that person with those three things has power to do something? What do you think he's going to do if he has 200 racks? What can he possibly invest in? Well, let's just say he has more than 200 racks. Let's say he saved up his money. He was real smart, and he just decided, I'm not going to waste any money on no frivolous things for 10 to 20 years. So he saved up. What do you think he could save up if he's making $200K a year? All right, let's just say he was able to save every year, let's just say 10 grand. That's a good number, right? So he worked for 2 years, right? He's been working longer than that, but this is all for practical purpose. So you only need 2 years. So in 2 years, he was able to save up $20,000. Now, most, like I said, ain't making 200 grand a year. So we're going to deal with the motherfuckers most likely like us or who you know. Making, let's say, $80,000 a year. Nurse. How much you think the nurse could save? Let's just give it a ballpark. So the nurse was able to save half of what the engineer dude saved. So let's just say 5 G's a yearly she saved. So now, with the 3 pillars already in motion. You cast your spell. The fourth part was what I was leading to when I was saying, how much can you save? See, saving, listen to me, is a sacrifice. It's one of the sacrifices. You must master sacrificing. Shit don't happen if you don't make a sacrifice. That's the most strongest shit I want to imply out of the whole lecture, is it has to be sacrifices. And I'm not talking about lives, like some old devil worshiping shit, Illuminati, you sacrifice somebody for my, no. It's something simple like, you love coffee. All right, for a few months, you're not going to buy any coffees. And that money that you would have spent on the coffee, you allocate it towards something that's going to be more beneficial than the coffee. More beneficial would be controlling land, property. So you put that money towards that goal. That's your focus. You've allocated, I want to call it, it's called disposable income. You sacrificed your fun. Eating out. Buying those new Jordans. Buying that new gold chain. Buying that new car. Buying those new clothes. Buying those new glasses. Whatever your vice is, you're going to have to sacrifice and not do that shit. Because you got to save. You got to save up $10,000 to make a move. If you don't have $10,000, I don't care about the other three things. Because all you're doing is working like a dumbass slave. You will not attain power. You must sacrifice to attain power. Period. All right. I just had to drill that in, so I had to get more passionate. Now I'm going to dial it back a little bit and get back on to this this lecture. How you should be thinking, how you should be moving, what's going on. All right, so now we have the 4 pillars, the 4 horsemen. 4 is what? A square. If you stand on a square, it's hard to fuck with you. When you control the square, you know what these 4 things are. I discussed them. You can bring about your 5. When you control 4, you create a hand. You can move. You can grab. You can control. You got to have the 4. You're square. Then you can make a hand. All right, so now that we have a hand, basically we have money, $10,000, and trade lines or credit history. Well, actually, no, excuse me. Excuse me, I've left out some major information. So let me dial back a little bit. Now we're still dealing with the 4 pillars. You had your education. You've had your license to prove that you can follow and produce mechanical. You can move. Like, you're smart enough to handle. You accomplish a task. That's what the driver's license is. They gave you a task. They said go out and do this, and you did it. That was your first job. Really, was to get that done. Your second was to find employment once you have a means of transportation. You've done that. You've kept that for 2 years. The whole time while you were working, you were saving money to the point where you got to 10 grand. However long it took you, it is what it is. Because that's the key number. You're going to need at least 10 grand before you're trying to do any property in 2 years. of credit history. Paying your bills on time and in full. You are not going to build a credit history unless you go get a credit card. If you have not done the right things, paid your bills on time and in full. What bills are we talking about? Everybody has a cell phone. So that bill's been paid on time and in full. We've talked about you've had a car. So you've had insurances that should have been paid on time and in full. You have other bills that most likely come up, like doctor bills. If you're not healthy, you're not eating right, you pay those bills on time and in full. Basically, what I'm saying is you pay your bills on time and in full for that whole 2 years. You're creating a credit history. So when you go and apply for your credit card on that second year of work, see, this shit is all steps. You work the first year just getting yourself familiarized with the game. Like, all right, now that I'm making money, I go get me a phone. I keep my phone right, paid, you know what I mean? I don't do no bullshit on the phone, like making big ass bills on the phone from playing some dumbass game on the phone or whatever the case is. I use the phone for what it has to be, and that's it. I make my money, answer my calls, whatever. If you got stocks on your phone, that's what it is. I use my phone to make money. You can too. That's a whole nother conversation, though, later on. There's levels to this shit, I told you. It's going to take me some time to catch you up to the knowledge I've acquired. Even probably longer to catch you up to the level I'm at. You're going to have to go through some shit. Sacrifices is what I'm talking about. You're gonna have to sacrifice. Like, it's no bullshit. Like, all right, so as we move along, we were talking about your credit. You have to establish it after a year of working. You go get a secured card if you can't get an unsecured. The only way you're getting an unsecured card is if you play the game correct from the beginning. This is why you have to know the instructions from the beginning. Listen to me. What I said previously, you can't be fucking around with money. That is the bottom line for this whole thing. You fuck around with the money later when you get it. Like, have fun. But while you're under the microscope, because that's what this is, your first years of working, you're under the microscope and they're looking at you. They're looking at how they do, how you are with money. If you look real frivolous with money or you're not paying your bills and all that, they not fucking with you. They like, I was just telling one of my buddies yesterday, we were sitting chilling, we went for a ride in his car, and I was like, yo, this shit is backwards, bro. These motherfuckers throw so much money at me, bro. It's ridiculous. But it's not just money. It's credit. Credit is not money. Credit is credit until you turn it to money. This is why they throw that shit at you, because they like, that shit ain't nothing. You're doing them a favor by taking the credit. Let me just get that out the way, because that shit is nothing. It doesn't mean anything until you spend it. So that shit's just sitting in their data. They probably hold some liability for it. I can almost guarantee they hold some liability on that money that's just sitting there. They got to get rid of that shit or take it back, because that's one of the reasons why inflation is happening, because they got all this credit out there that's not being used. And then the not the IMF, the Federal Reserve decides to freaking start using deflation tactics, where they try to deflate the money so it doesn't blow before it's time. Because the plan is to blow the money up, to devalue it, so that, like I told you in the first lecture, that they want you fucked up. So you'll listen. So you'll have to listen. That's the real bottom line. I'm sorry to drop the knowledge on you like that and tell you the truth, but that's what the end goal is. To have control of all your energy, even your mind. These motherfuckers is crazy, though. They thinking they gonna fucking read your mind. Like, they probably will. Like, I don't know what all technologies are. I only know what they revealed to me. Can they read your thoughts? I wouldn't put it past, especially if you're putting some type of thing in your brain, like on your hand. I don't know. I can't see, but they put a chip on your brain, my nigga. You really think that shit won't be able to decipher your brain? Even if it can't tell your real thoughts and stuff, it'll give emotional data. Like if you're unstable or you're thinking hate, I could easily, because that shit comes in a mood ring. Like I could easily see them monitoring your behavior with that shit. What your true thoughts are, like what I'm thinking right now, no one can ever know what I just thought but me, unless I tell you. And in that moment, I don't even really remember, but I think I was thinking niggas is pussy. Like, I'm like, your niggas ain't ready to fucking do no real shit. Like, you still stuck on, yo, I'm gonna get my money up. Not knowing why you're trying to get your money up, these motherfuckers sat in a room, all the big money, and said, let's work together. They said competition is a sin. Competition is a sin amongst them. They like, why are we fighting? We're fucking up our money. If we come together, I'm like, now some motherfuckers way smarter than us came up with, it's better to come together. The smartest motherfuckers and the motherfuckers with all the money said it's smarter to come together. I'm gonna have to listen to that shit. No matter what narrative they're painting on the television, they're putting in books. No matter the narrative they're trying to sell to me, I know what the smart motherfuckers is saying and doing. So I don't pay attention to the nonsense. Them motherfuckers said competition is a sin. Build together. My whole narrative has been trying to build together. And I have team members. My team is getting stronger. My team is getting bigger. And it is just what it is. Like, if you're a positive force, positive energy, motherfuckers is going to gravitate towards you. Motherfuckers gravitate towards me for a few different reasons. One, I'm a big dude. Second, I carry guns. I'm highly trained in martial arts. And, like, I'm the protector, basically. So motherfuckers will come to me for protection. Like, oh, something happened, da-da-da, let's roll on this, whatever. And I'm fine with that, because I'm a big dude. But I'm much greater than protection, like, and that's why I laugh and say, they have me pegged as some type of big-ass fucking goon. Like, where in the reality, I'm a scholar. It's already been proven, because I've sent paperwork down to our state's attorneys, letting them know exactly what my status is, who I am, what I will do, and how much power I control. And them motherfuckers try to test me, and I had to show them that I stand on a square. And I stayed on that square, and even the judge had to fucking bow down, like, and just look at me like, he's different. They know I'm different. You can tell I'm different. I'll say to whoever what it is, what my true believing or beliefs are. I have no fear of speaking my truths. No fear. But back to this educational thing. So I was talking about you have to obtain credit, a credit history. That first year working, you start that credit history. So you got a whole year of paying your bills on time and in full. Like I said, there will be further lectures really dabbling into what card should I get first? How should I get it? How much money should I put down? I can say all that shit now. But too much information, too fast, it's not good. Nothing gets done. And you have to learn patience. Can't know everything fast. Like, I haven't learned or known everything fast. It's taken me years to acquire this knowledge. It's taken me even more to implement the knowledge. Because knowing the knowledge or seeing the knowledge is a whole different thing than implementing it. And I've implemented knowledge that I wasn't really ready for and got hurt. I tried to play in the big boys leagues, thinking I knew that commercial property shit. And I got stung a little bit. Took a loss. It ain't stopped me. I learned from it. Then I actually figured out, oh, there's ways to get over. How did I miss those chapters? Oh. So then it put me on some, well, let me figure out how these motherfuckers I read about run off and being embezzling and all that shit. And then I was like, oh, damn, it's some like real simple shit. Like it's a matter of fucking knowing the right information sites where your information is stored and putting a freeze on it where no one can see your information. Now, like I said, that shit works as a double-edged sword because now you're not getting no credit or nothing because they can't verify anything. They can't verify your data. You froze off, I think it's at least 4 data points that the Experian, the TransUnion, and the Equifax check. The 3 major credit bureaus, they check these sites. I can't even name drop them right now. That's not what this video is for. Like I said, too much power too fast. I'm not even going to tell y'all about freezing that shit because some of y'all go do that shit and fuck everything all up. Like, baby steps. But yeah, there's levels to this shit, man. You got to really know what's going on to play the game. Like, no one's going to tell you this shit for free neither. I had to pay. I had to pay to learn. I'm going to name one, Sage Stream. Nexus Lexus. I named 2. I don't give a fuck. Like, you niggas do what y'all gonna do. Like, go fuck around with the shit and you don't really know what you're doing if you want to. That's how you hurt yourself. That's how you fuck yourself. But yeah, there's names like that. You go in there and you have them fucking. There's numbers to the Fair Credit Act. They have to abide by these rules. That's why I said, yo, in 30 days, you say the right things, they got to take that shit off your credit. Due to subsection, yada, 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 in the commercial code, yada, the fair credit reporting, yada, yada, it states you have 30 days to remove any any questionable information that I deem not right. I don't agree with. And it's just that simple. And I'm going to leave that at that. Because that's a whole nother lecture on how to fucking really control that shit. This right here was just this was just I don't know, 60 minutes of real shit, which I've been meaning to get out and let niggas know. I can easily go on for fucking 6 hours, bro, telling y'all what's really going on. Matter of fact, let me drop something on you real fast. What's really going on? So, we've all heard of the Build Back Better program. Build America Back Better. Well, how would you build it back better? They're trying to transition into the new way of how we're going to do things. Fossil fuels is becoming a thing of the past. And there are certain countries out there that are just basically gas stations. Russia. So what do you think is going to happen if you're pushing the new agenda? The Build Back Better agenda. You're going to build back better, meaning less fossil fuels. You know what fossil fuel is? Oil. So all these countries that's main export is just oil. What are they going to do? You're trying to cut their throat, like, because you want to go green. And the smartest motherfuckers on the planet done already said, we can't do this too fast because it will hurt the people. Y'all have been doing this shit for 20 years. There's still a good 20 years of oil, if not more, in the world. So it's not going to hurt to ease this shit in. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to ease this shit in. to just do it like they're doing it, slam, like, oh, shut down this pipeline, shut down that pipeline. That's just making the fucking oil prices shoot. When the oil prices shoot, everything else shoots, because transportation is what I said is one of the second keys you must control to do commerce. And all transportation at this point runs off of fucking fossil fuel. So if you fuck with closing pipelines, you're making fossil fuels way more expensive than it has to be. A trucker that was spending 10 grand is spending 20 grand now on gas. So now them prices, he has to kick it down to the next man, the business owner. Now the business owner has to raise his prices. So that's why the loaf of bread is $10 now. All right. That was a quick economics course and what they're doing and why shit's going like that. You damn right Russia's kind of mad. They're only a gas station. What the fuck is Russia putting out? Yeah, they got grains and shit. But their main export is gas, bro. So, of course, they're feeling some type of way. Oh, y'all niggas trying to... But that ain't even why Putin went and ran in there and fucking started blowing shit up. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to get into that. Because this is not something that I really can confirm. But let me tell you a secret what I heard. So, you know, the vax, right? They're making that shit in, you know, other countries and stuff, right? These motherfuckers, I heard, had gain-of-function labs over in Ukraine. I hope you know what that is. If not, go look it up. Gain-of-function laboratories. But in a nutshell, these motherfuckers was collecting DNA from a lot of his citizens. And he got wind of that shit. Like, what are you taking our DNA for? Then come to find out y'all got gain-of-function labs. So basically, it seems like a recipe to make bioengineered weapons just to kill certain groups of people. This is what he's thinking. So he blew them shits right up off the fucking map. Like, nah, you will not fucking kill us. Like, now, was he wrong? Who knows? Is he right? Who knows? I'm not getting involved in all that. Like, if they make some type of bio weapon to kill European dudes, white dudes, that's just the evil that exists. And they gonna get what they gonna get. Energy is never gonna be destroyed. Like, it can't. It's gonna come back. Like, so I ain't even gotta worry about none of that. I wouldn't waste my time. But what the real reality is this man believed it. So it don't matter if it's truth or not. And that's one thing most people gotta remember. That's one thing most people gotta remember. It don't matter if I believe it's true or not. It's what the next man believes and what he's gonna do about it. So whether I'm off, that motherfucker really believes something was going down and he made power moves to stop that shit. Whether he thought niggas was fucking killing, it was genocide, that the Ukraine people was killing his people, which makes sense. Think about the narrative. If that's what he really believed, and he's saying, I'm stopping them from doing that, he really might have believed that. Because how else would they be killing? No one was fucking killing Russian people. He preemptive striking, I guess. Like, that's his belief. Like, oh, y'all took our DNA, y'all making these labs fucking with viruses. Like, y'all trying to bioengineer viruses and shit. Y'all taking all our DNA. 1, 2, 3. Like, it don't take a rocket scientist to be like, well, why are you taking samples of our DNA? Like, I would feel some type of way too if I was Putin. Like, nah, B, y'all too close to my borders with this fucking dumbass fucking with germs and viruses and shit, making them stronger. Nah, get that shit out of here. And fuck what y'all doing with our DNA for? Fuck you. Like, you can't do this. Like, get the fuck away from my country. Like, I'm sovereign here. Like, I don't give a fuck about your IMF, like the World Monetary Fund or the World Economic Forum, Klaus. I don't care about y'all. I'm not hearing y'all killing my people like this. Like, so this is how it's going to go. And that's what the fuck he did. Like, I ain't got nothing to say about the shit. Like, that's what he believed. If that's what really was going on, and he handled. I take my hats off to him. You need more men who believe shit and go handle. Now, if he's wrong, hey, he's wrong. Boom. But yeah, I just had to tell, I got to tell some things. Like, now, like I said, I can't say that that's the real facts, but that's the narrative that I'm getting from the vibe, that from stuff I've been reading and things like that. Cause I'm in behind the scenes. Like I said, I want to find out what's really going on. I want to see how shit works. I'm the type in the Wizard of Oz that would have went like Toto the dog and pulled the curtain. Like, what's behind here? Oh shit, it's a dude. What you doing, cuz? Like, talking to him like a normal man now. Like, oh, okay, I could punch you in the face. My whole thing is I want to know who I'm going to punch in the face if shit gets fucked up. Like, you not hiding from me, bro. Or you will hide. Therefore, if you're hiding, that means you've lost your power because you're scared. I'm out here handling, and you're under the ground hiding. So who's really in fear? Who's really the boss? I walk on top of the earth like men, animals that control, while you scurry like worms under the ground, scared. Scared of the vitamin D, the power, the true power. The true download comes from the sun. Like, let me get back on to controlling and how you control and how you make it harder for motherfuckers to control you. So, your credit score is at 760 or above, 761 or above. Those are the numbers you will need to unlock $250,000 worth of credit. You can hire brokers to get these lines of credit. Because there's something I'm going to tell you about that. Now, when I started acquiring these business credit loans and credit cards, well, actually, I didn't get any business loan per se. It was all credit cards. They gave me credit. I've taken personal loans, which was something totally different than business. That was my personal, me putting my name on the line, which I'm like, I shouldn't have did that shit. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make money come in. Like, I was like, oh, I'll take, those grands and try to turn it into more. I'm an option play type of dude. I bet on the futures. So that's what I did. Like, I turned 20 into 70, 90,000. Like, but it's not guaranteed. It's a gamble. So I may lose it. It is what it is. I don't cry over spilled milk. I always make sure I got enough to re-up to do whatever I got to do again. And that's the bottom line. I'll sell whatever I need to sell if I need to sell it. If I don't, I will keep it. I don't worry about money. Money comes to me because I use it and I recycle it. I can have $1 in my pocket right now, but I know in 10 days, some money's going to come back to me that I've already recycled either months ago, years ago, hours, well, not hours. We'll just say months ago, and then we'll jump to years ago. Okay? I don't spend money. I recycle it. How do you spend money? Remember I talked about that. You spend money by buying sneakers. Is a sneaker an asset? Maybe a certain Jordan is. You bought it for $200. You sold it for $300. Well, that's damn near the American way, man. That's fucking business. So, but there are some things that we know really are not assets. Like, they're just liabilities. They're just there to keep you down, keep you without power. The whole key is to keep you without power. So as I go into the last part of this, I don't know how long all three of these videos, and this is crazy. I'm gonna have to edit this because it's something's been happening where I had to stop. Like, damn, when am I gonna just be able to have a straight playthrough with nothing going on? But that wasn't what was meant for this video. So I'll edit this up and chop it all together. But I'm like, yo, there's no way I'm gonna let other motherfuckers control my destiny, bro. So what have I done to stop this? So I talked about the main way they would control you would be the food, right? So I'm already prepared to move to where there's nicer weather. Because where I'm at in Connecticut, I only have certain months where I can plant. Even certain months where everything's alive. And remember what I told you. You don't always have to plant your food. There's food already here. You just have to know what's edible. They've tried real hard to not teach you what is edible from just walking around grabbing shit out of the woods. Like, because that's too much power. Remember I told you, they need you hungry so you'll listen. In fear so you'll obey. I don't live in fear. Never have, never will. That's why I keep that. You know the guns I have. That's why I keep them polished, oiled, loaded, ready to go. And a moment's notice. Knock at my door on some bullshit if you want to. And there will be hell to pay. I don't care who you are. You are an enemy of the state. I am the state. I am a state citizen. You probably don't even know what that means, but I filed paperwork. I'm going for my diplomatic immunity. Like, you will not pull my vehicles over. I will be not detained. Let's put it that way. I'm gonna keep it moving. It's one of my missions. Like, to let them know my true status. Like, I'm not of subject status. And in my third group, I'll be posting these documents I filed. I'll be showing the way to the path. Like I said, this was just an introduction. I explained how to do some things, but there's so much more like that you need to know. Like I was telling my buddy the other day, I grabbed a brand new car, got $10,000 back, and paid no taxes on it. You know what a war report is? It's someone reporting on what's going on so that you know. Okay. So we know the end goal is for them to gain control of everything. For you to put a chip in your body so they can control all your spending. If you say something we don't like online, we can stop your money. You won't eat for that day. So you'll say what we want you to say because you want to eat. It's control. It's always been about control. How will they implement this control, though? Because who's willingly going to give somebody that much power over them? Aren't we free? Am I not free? So no one should be able to control my money if they don't like what I say. I'll say whatever the fuck I want. You don't have the power to stop me from speech. Only God does. And God chooses not to, which is why I can speak. So no man will be able to do this. No, I say. Full stop, I say. But anyway, war report back to what's going on for you regular folks. So it's problem, solution. They made a problem. First of all, identity theft is up. They're doing it though. How I thought about it. I was like, yo, how can someone really get my information unless y'all giving it out. So, y'all, I'm like, y'all want motherfuckers to steal my identity. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. I get it. Create that. Because remember what I told you? Credit's nothing. You need to spend it. Somebody's got to spend it. Why ain't these motherfucking people who gave you the money spending it? They just give your number to a cousin or something, and he fucking uses it. Like, it's embezzlement. These motherfuckers really think we're stupid. Well, they think y'all stupid. They don't know what to think about me yet. They're finding out, though, that I'm not no fucking yes man and I'm not stupid. I know exactly what the fuck is going on, what you're doing. And I'm not allowing it on my square. But anyway, so it's create the narrative. Problem, reaction, solution. They create a problem so you can react, so they can bring the solution. The problem, your identity's not secure. That's a little problem. That won't make you, I don't give a fuck about their money. If someone steals my credit, 9 times out of 10, they give it back to me. If they could prove it wasn't me, which is easily. If I buy something from Nevada or I'm in New York buying something and I don't live in New York. So how did I get a purchase delivered to New York? Like, this is common sense. So that's not a big enough narrative to transition us into this chip in your hand. What's the chip in your hand is just full monitoring. They want to know where you are at every fucking second and what you're doing. They even want to know what you're thinking. So with that being said, they introduce into your neighborhoods an element of fear. What can make you fear? What can generate fear that would make you give up your right to not have your fucking what's the word I'm looking for? What? Oh, your sovereignty. What would make you be feared enough to let motherfuckers know where you are? Because they're going to sell it to you. Oh, you could be kidnapped by these organ donors, these people who, human traffickers. We let them in. I don't want to get to that yet, but first of all, the problem was people want to leave their country. They're coming over here. So that's the problem. They told us, so they'll get a reaction. The solution will be, well, this got out of control. They're stealing your identity and doing everything, which some of them might really be doing that. And that may be what helps collapse the dollar. I find it funny that Biden is letting all these illegal immigrants in. It's like they want to destroy the country. You're just letting anybody in here, don't give a fuck if they got diseases or anything. And that's another thing. Oh, we must have let someone in who had typhoid or who had scurvy or who had, and now their population is getting sick. So now this chip, it's going to read your vitals and it'll tell us if you need this certain type of med or something. Bro, they're going to sell this shit where you want it. What was fucked up is the first virus wasn't deadly enough. It ain't scare us. It ain't scare me. I ain't running go get that shot. I'm fine. I might have had the sniffles a couple of times. Hell, I got sick when that shit first happened. I got sick. I swear I already had the corona. And then my natural antibodies beat the shit. So for me, it was just not even a fact of body sovereignty. You will not tell me what I'm going to do. No one has that power to. You think you do because I let you. But I'm here to tell you I will not let you. So now you know you don't have the power over me. So I'm a problem. Because you can't have motherfuckers with the strong mentality like I have, where you will not tell me what I'm going to do. I will tell you what I'm going to do, and you will sit there and like it and watch it. Or you will try to stop me. And then we will have the problem, which I don't care. I'm a problem solver. That's just by nature. So with that being said, I haven't ran for your vax because it wasn't dangerous to me. Like I said, had that shit really been crazy, motherfuckers would have been beating down the door. I would have threw somebody out the way. Get out the way. Threw my shoulder in the needle like, give me that. Facts. Let me see, nigga. Yo, I said this in the first. Let me see a nigga. I'm sitting at the table eating, and this nigga, I hear on the radio, yo, we got a new virus. Like they did. Like, oh, it's the coronavirus. You need to be safe, mask up. Let me have heard that, right? And then like an hour later, like another thing came through and it said, yo, it's in your town. And then the next day I seen like motherfuckers just dying like that. Like boom, boom, boom. Like, oh, you catch this shit? Ain't no coughing, sneezing, you sick. It's, hey, hi guys. That type of shit, that type of time. You will be fighting. You'll be fighting for the vax. So that failed. They tried not to. It's just an experiment. They wanted to see what would be accepted. And a lot of motherfuckers pushed back and fought back, and they had to let that plan go. Like, damn, they ain't ready to get locked down. So they went into plan B, C, which was, all right, destroy the whole shit then. Fuck it. Like, we try to do it more strategically. They hard-headed. Now we got to break some eggs to make the omelet. Like, pulling all these motherfucking illegals, undocumented, don't give them no resources. The motherfuckers is going to get some resources, bro. You really think you going to bring some motherfuckers over here, give them nothing, and they just going to sit in a line and wait for you to give them some food? The real alphas, what are they going to do? They're going to go handle. If a way of getting money is taking your organs, well, guess what? Your wife, your son, your kid, you are getting kidnapped by these motherfuckers in your own vehicle, driving away while you're bound and gagged in your trunk. That's scary, ain't it? Do you want your family, your son to be grabbed but we got a tracker where they can't do that anymore. Like, they won't be able to do this. I want my daughter to have that. Hell, I don't want nothing to happen to my daughter. I'm put a chip in her fast. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. That shit real. It even strikes a nerve with me, so I know you lesser intelligent beings are gonna flock to this shit. Like, let you see your neighbor get snatched up and gone. Now, the funny thing about, not even funny, but the thing about that is I've actually been impacted by women being abducted and brought overseas type shit. Like, I've had family members who called me and was like, yo, they took my wife, my fiance, da da da. I'm like, so I know that shit is real. Like, that shit, and they never find these people. Like, they gone. Like, I ain't gonna say they dead, but they in some sex stink somewhere, especially the women. Like, men, I think the men be gone. Like, your organs is harvested. Like, you're what they call useless food eater. You can't produce any livestock. Livestock is just children. We're all just animals to these higher up elite motherfuckers. Like, they call you chattel. You're chattel. Just a commodity they own. Like, the Vatican holds your title. That's another lecture. Who really owns you? Who really owns your title? This right here was the war report. So it's total control of everything. The Internet of Things is coming, which is tied to the blockchain. It's Internet 3.0. Internet 3.0 is coming. No, Internet 3.0 is coming. No one's stopping that. No one's trying to. Why would you? You don't even know what the shit is. No one's stopping the 5G towers. Why would you? You think it's good. It's making data come faster. They need that 5G to keep up with all the data you're going to generate. Your life. You're gonna generate tons of data. So much data, in fact, they had to create AIs, artificial intelligence, to monitor and control you. This will be implemented in the years to come. You already see it. You'll run for the chip. When your money no longer can go to the store and buy that loaf of bread, here, please, I'm hungry. It's take your power away slowly. Because what I learned from my mother and the religion that she chose to believe in is if you have a spring compressed, so we have a spring this big, and you compress the spring down. Now it's a lot of energy into it. Now, if you grab that spring, boom, and hold it, it takes a lot of pressure to hold it. Like, you're like, I'm going to keep it like, it's easier to just let it go. But if you just let it go, it'll fly out your hand like, it was compressed, and then you let it go, it flew out. So you let it go gradually, and you can keep the spring in your hand instead of letting it fly. That's what they've done. We've been a spring as humanity. We were out of control. They slowly compacted us, and they compacted us hard. And then they put the clamp on us. Once they had us where we weren't, they know they could never open their hand again, or we'll fly off the handle crazy. Like, because the control will drive you crazy. So now they know we can never give your power back. That's why once they implement some type of control mechanism, like when the towers came down, it was the Patriot Act, so they could spy on you. They never gave that power back. It's still terrorists out there, right? It's the same thing with all the new shit they're trying to bring. Now they're talking about disinformation control. Like, that's the top narrative to any type of rebellion or anything, is the control of knowledge. You paint the picture, and that's the only picture you see. That's the only picture you know, and you're going to follow. So I understand why they must control the narrative and the knowledge. But what I laugh about is there's always going to be the reality that people could see. You can choose to be blind if you want to. That's your prerogative. But the paper trail always will exist. There will always be paper. You could go back and read. Who did that? Who did that? Who did that? What did that do? Just like I said in the first verse, Obama played his part. That motherfucker signed shit into legislation, made laws, wrote shit that fucked us. The labels to food does not have to reflect what's in the food. What type of shit did he, what type of shit is that, cuz? Obama did that. Y'all niggas don't know nothing about that, cuz y'all ain't reading about laws that these motherfuckers are signing. All you know is the motherfucker signed 300 laws into existence. And you just see him with those little books and the special pen, and he's smiling away, signing shit. And y'all like, oh, he's doing something good. Some of that stuff is needed stuff. It's back into infrastructure. But some of that shit is the control mechanisms for the shit they set out in the 60s to do. It's all coming to reality, bro. You can see this shit, bro. Motherfuckers could call me a conspiracy theorist if they want to. I'm not that. I'm not. I'm a seeker of knowledge and truth. I won't sit there and tell you some shit that I'm not 100% sure. I'll give you my opinion, what I found out, what I've read, and then you make your own decision. I think that's democracy. I think that's freedom. I think that's how nature intended life to be. Every man decides for himself what his truth is. Like I said before, my truth may be different than that man's truth, which is why he moves differently than I do. To not even give a second thought is despotism. Despotism just means a tyrannical government that just wishes to control and shut everything down and do bullshit the people, experiment on them, whatever, and y'all just take it. Like, and the U.S. was never meant to be that type of establishment, that type of, and that's why we have our Second Amendment, like the right to bear arms, like the First Amendment, the right to free speech. Like, y'all want to take my free speech and my guns away. At that point, I'm nothing but a sheep. I am no threat because I can't say anything. Hence the mask and the 6 feet distance. Don't talk to no one. Don't congregate with no one. Because if you talk, you create ideas. Ideas create this world. What I'm focusing on, I bring here. So if I'm focusing on your narrative, that's what I believe. That's what I'm going to do. And no other thing exists. They are controlling what will exist. They want to control what will exist. This is the bottom line. That's the war report, bro. I did it in under 20 minutes. So in conclusion of this last and final chapter of, we'll call it the bathrobe talks, I'll say this. I know what you want to do. I know what you did. And I'm just here to say, I'm watching you. Stay in your lane. Don't get too big for your britches. Because we'll come see you. God is good all the time, period.